What's up, guys? I hope y'all doing well. I cannot complain myself. We gonna talk about the interview Kanye West had with DJ Akademiks, and what he said was that it was his fault that he had kids with Kim Kardashian, and the way he worded it, it leaves room for conversation because the wording on it, and I think he did it in a right way. I got the video and I'm gonna play it for you guys, but I'm gonna say this: whatever you do, a wise person told me this, and I think that it'll help a lot actually, and you can use this in your own life. And I got an example really quickly. I'm gonna tie this in for y'all. The saying is, whatever you do the next morning, you're going to pay for. Whatever you do, there's going to be an equal and opposite reaction to it, basically, is what it's saying. If you do right, you're probably going to get some good fruit from that. Or maybe it's going to be delayed, right? But this is an example. It's about maybe like 1 o'clock in the morning. I wake up. You normally wake up, grab some water or whatnot. And let me just start off by saying this. I just ran 8 miles. Because of this. And I got to clean. I got to do all these other things. But I wake up at 1 a.m. and I smell smoke coming through the vents. And the place I live at, it's no smoking, in the apartment, right? If I want to smoke a cigarette, I go outside. I smoke a cigarette outside in the breezeway or on my balcony. Okay. It kind of reminds me of the Black Boy situation, right? Like where you like smoking in the house. I think he kind of flipped style on somebody. I think it was Fabio he flipped on. But it wasn't really a flip, but check it out. So I'm like, I can smell the smoke coming through the vents. And it's like, I could tell this guy is smoking, something illegal. He's not supposed to be smoking in the apartment anyway. And now it's coming through my vents. You know what I'm saying? So I had to run. I got to clean up. I have all these other things I had to do. I had to, call maintenance, for them to do something else. I got to do my taxes. I got an appointment that I got to go to the periodontist, right? I got to get some gum grafts. And I needed to do things. Long story short, I needed to do things to, before all this came about. So this is like a monkey wrench that was thrown in, basically. It's a monkey wrench. So I had to spend time. I got to clean up. I got to open windows, air out the house. I got to do all these other things. Whatever you do, it's going to be equal and opposite react. Just know it's consequences and repercussions to whatever you do. So think about that. Even in this situation with Kanye. I went in there to pay my rent, and I hopped on the phone. I'm like, hey, look, this was going on. I got a life. I can't be going around. I can't be doing this, every other day. It's just not gonna. It's not. I can't be doing this all the time. Reaping. What someone else is sowing, the negative effects, and I'm like, no. What am I supposed to do, right? Some guy right? It looks like he's 40 or 50. You know what I'm saying? Just kind of moved in right above me. Right. I'm outside on the balcony. I'm smoking a cigarette. He looks at me, smiling like a little Nino. I'm like, it's not going to work. I come back from my run. I got to clean up. I got to do all these other things. And I seen the cops up there. I think they was putting a note on his door or something. Listen, it's an equal, and whatever you do, you're going to pay for. I get it. If you're in college, you're doing a college life, dormitory or whatever, on campus, off campus, look, maybe that's your grace period. We're in a real life. We're in real life. You know what I'm saying? Things don't work like that. They don't. But back to this Kanye situation. In that example, you can use it. You can use it in this Kanye situation. Right? And now, Kim Kardashian, most famously known for being pictured in a video with Ray J. And that is glaring. That is very noticeable. But let me play the video and then I'll come back with some more commentary.
Like, even with the situation with kids, I hear you speak about it a lot. Like, nobody really spoke on your behalf. But even when you speak about Kim, people might be like, well, you picked her. Like, you put yourself in that.
Absolutely, I did. That was my fault.
Maybe they're saying that you don't take accountability.
No, that was my fault. I didn't want to have children with this person after the first 2 months of being with her. But that wasn't God's plan.
So he worded it, and he worded it very well. He said that in the first 2 months, so it leaves room for conversation. Is he saying, will his mind change? Because I didn't watch the whole interview. I just seen that clip. I don't know even if the whole interview's up. It's like clips, that's circulating. So I found a few of the clips. Right. This is one of the clips that a lot of people were talking about, and obviously, he has a few children. I think even like maybe 2 children came from like surrogate pregnancy, where she didn't carry the child, but biologically it's Kanye's and Kim's child. I will say this, just to kind of take all the air out of it. I think he made the right decision by having a baby with Kim. Nice, beautiful young lady. My little thing would be this: if she was maybe a little bit darker, I would not even say a little, same attributes, same everything, but just darker skin tone, I think his kids would have, and this is just me guessing, but his kids would have maybe more, his kids would maybe favor him phenotype wise even more. I mean, but even in that situation, it's still a win. Like, okay, Kim Kardashian, your kids are going to be well taken care of. Are we like that? That's really what you want. You want your kids to be educated. You want your kids to be able to grow and be successful. And I think the sky is the limit with Kim Kardashian parenting his kids. I think it's a win, regardless of whatever before. Listen. Now, if this is just some regular chick, then okay, maybe I can understand. This is some regular lady or chick or whatever in your barrio, in your hood, and she's been with multiple different people and you got kids by her. Okay, I can understand that, but this is not the same situation. This is not the same type of situation, and I think people need to understand that. And let's not act like people don't have relationships and kids with women who have prior relationships and have kids from those relationships. So what do you think happens in those situations? She procreated with somebody else. You know how that happens, right? You know, certain things need to take place, whether if it's on camera or if it's not. It doesn't matter. Grow up, get over it. You know, and I think that's a question he maybe wanted to ask Kanye, and I think Kanye answered it perfectly, because he said, look, in the first 2 months I didn't want to have kids. That doesn't mean he didn't change his mind after the first 2 months. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna just say this: everything you do is gonna it's gonna pay. It's gonna pay in dividends, if you compound interest, or it's gonna have repercussions to it. Simple. That's what it is. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is, guys. Like the video, man. Hey, I'll let us see you guys here again, dude. Peace. I'm out.